Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Mile High Game Guys board gaming podcast. I'm your host, Adrian.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Jeff.
And we're coming to you with another Wednesday banter episode sponsored by Gray Fox Games.
Yes, they are.
We're sponsored. Yeah. I couldn't not do it.
It's fine.
But yeah, so it's been now 2 weeks since we did a Wednesday episode because we had that little dread
Halloween
two-parter, yeah.
Yes, we did.
So we've had a chance to play a lot of games. A lot of life has happened. Broncos lost 2 games and then won 1 game in that span, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. Joe Flacco, done.
Is that the coach of the Broncos?
No, that's the quarterback.
The quarterback.
Well, he was like injured or something, right?
Yeah, so he hurt his neck in their last loss, and he ended up I think he finished the game. I don't think they benched him during the game. But then it was like, oh, he's got a herniated disc. He's going to be out 3 to 4 weeks. And then they were like, nope, injured reserve, rest of the season, done.
Okay. All right.
And so today the Broncos became the first team since 2010, I want to say, to have all of their active quarterbacks on the roster. None of them had ever started an NFL game. So there was no NFL experience on the Broncos quarterback roster. And they won.
Yeah. Now they have one person.
Yes. Brandon Allen is so far 1-0 in the NFL.
He's undefeated.
He's undefeated, yeah.
Tom Brady isn't undefeated. Fucking yeah.
Time to renegotiate that contract.
Yeah, for $150 million, and then he'll just go somewhere else next year.
Yes.
100% win rate.
Yeah.
This was also, fun fact, thanks to that victory, this became the first day in NFL history ever, that 3 players with the same last name all won a game.
That sounds like a very stupid NFL fact that would only exist in the NFL.
And it's probably not players. I think it's quarterbacks. 3 quarterbacks with the same last name, which is
Allen.
Yeah, there are currently 3 Allens that started and won in the NFL today.
Well, okay then. That is a fact. It is not fun.
No.
And there's no use. It is completely useless.
Bullshit, that's not a fun fact.
I wasn't having fun when he told me.
That is the perfect example of the kind of stupid, pointless stats that I love about sports. Things that have no meaning and no relevance whatsoever and are just neat little tidbits.
Fun.
10 years, I'm going to be at trivia, and they're going to be like, what was the last name of the first set of 3 people with the same last name to win? I'll be like, boom, I know that one. It's Allen.
And then they'll look at you and just go, not mad, just disappointed.
I mean, I get that reaction a lot, so I'm okay with it.
You won't know what they're talking about in that respect. You just be like, okay, that's just a common look.
Yeah.
What sport has the stupidest facts? NFL.
I mean, other sports get pretty ridiculous with their stats. Like baseball tracks everything, so you get some really bizarre baseball stats.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's dumb soccer stats. I just don't care enough about soccer to know any. And basketball even more. Good God, basketball's a worthless sport.
Yep.
Wonder how many listeners we just lost over that.
Basketball's dumb.
Yeah.
All the Chinese listeners for sure.
Gone. We had snow. We had a big blizzard roll through.
We did.
We had 3 days of snow.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
And I just love how CDOT are how they basically drop the ball multiple times during the thing of and especially for school closings and things. It was we're gonna keep open on the day when it snows 7 or 8 inches, but not the day after it where it doesn't snow anything and it's just sunny and fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't seem prepared for that at all.
Yeah.
It's whoever's job it was to make that decision, they just had checked out until mid-September because they didn't expect to have to deal with that until at least November, not September. And then they're like, oh shit, I have to do something. Open.
Yeah.
Nope, that was the wrong move. Okay, next day, cancel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really bizarre.
Yeah.
Smash on the button.
Traffic was surprisingly not bad on the first day I worked of the Blizzard series, Tuesday. I guess everybody was like, fuck that, I'm not going to work. And so there was nobody on the road.
Hey, that's what I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to be on the road, and then right at 8 when I was about to leave, my boss messaged me. She's like, I'm working from home. And I'm like, well,
me too.
If you're working from home, can I also work from home? She's just like, sure. That's great. And then they just canceled work the next day. So, or, at the office. So I just automatically worked from home. So
Cool. I kind of wish I could work from home sometimes. I also like
It would be
not
hard for you.
having to take my work home.
yeah.
It's one of the nice things about like most blue collar jobs. Is like when I leave work, I leave work.
Yeah.
Like it all stays there.
I mean, I technically could as long as I just left my work laptop at work.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do work at home.
Real quick, just before it becomes an issue, in
Uh-huh.
case it becomes an issue, in case anybody hears weird noises in the background, because Megan's been in Greece for the last 2 weeks, and Jester has had to spend the last 5 days mostly alone while I've worked. We're letting her sit in on the podcast, and she's currently destroying one of her chew toys. She
instead
busted
of whatever your stuff is.
Yes. She has destroyed a single sock of mine, a kitchen towel,
A koozie.
A koozie.
she started in on the koozie, a washcloth, and then today the coup de grace. She ate an entire yellow manila folder full of very important documents. They were
Okay.
just shredded, court documents from way back in my past, $1,000 insurance check that I sure hope to God Megan deposited before she went on her trip. She got it right before, so she might have been like, I'll take care of this when I get home.
Oh.
And all I could find was the little piece that said $1,000. That was the only piece of it I could find. It's oh no. Oh dear. And my ACT scores gone, my transcripts gone.
Can't
You
get
know,
those. Can't order those
luckily
again.
I can get those again, but I have to now jump through those hoops. So, but
Just stay with your same job forever, and then you won't have to worry about that.
Right.
So
my commendation from Commander Subgroup 10 when I was in the Navy for being a excellent sailor.
I'm sure that was something you used every day.
It was real nice to have the copy of it so I could put the exact wording, received special commendation, blah, 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 blah. And then if somebody was like, did you though? And I could be like, yes. But yeah, that's a thing that happened. She wrecked my shit today. Fucking dog.
Fun stuff.
Yep. But yeah, so she's sitting in on the episode, so you might hear dog noises. If she gets too whiny or too obnoxious, we'll kick her out. But I'm trying to avoid that.
Mm-hmm. If you want to just put her in your crate, throw your passport in there, and then just let
Just let her go to town.
Yeah.
At least I have my old passport. She can have I keep it for sentimental reasons, all the different stamps and stuff. But I could throw that in there and just let her go to town.
If only you could have a stamp that you're like, this country doesn't even exist anymore.
But yeah, Jeff, what about you? What's been going on with you?
Nothing.
I've talked about football. I've talked about weather.
Nothing.
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 Anything else exciting with you, Zach?
Been watching a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you've been to a shit ton of movies.
Seen a bunch of movies.
Yeah, I guess I've seen movies.
Yeah.
I've seen all the same movies you have, though.
Yes. All the movies that you have seen, I have also seen. You
Yes.
did not watch all the movies that I have watched.
Probably.
Because you literally were not at the movie today.
Well, I mean, I've seen Terminator 2 before.
In 3D.
I saw it in 3D in Orlando way, 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 way back.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fine 3D. There's a couple parts where it looks really good, but otherwise it's yeah, it's fine. There's still only 2 movies for me that have ever been holy shit, see them in 3D. And that was Avatar and How to Train Your Dragon. And that was right when 3D was oh shit, it's coming mainstream, and then it floundered forever.
Because people kept using it wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone would just do the shit 3D conversion and not the actual, I'm shooting in 3D.
Yeah, there were only a couple times when it looked like it was different paper layers stacked behind each other.
Yeah.
For the most part, there was a lot of stuff that looked fairly rounded, and it seemed like it actually added depth, which was good.
Well, and they, one of the things, when they kept using it wrong, yes, you're right, they kept doing it digitally and not actually shooting it with a 3D camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they would often use it to make things pop out of the screen rather than make the screen feel deep. And I feel that's one of the things Avatar did really good.
Yeah, they do the beyond the window versus before the window or whatever. It's one of them is past it and one of them is coming out at you.
Yeah.
And yes, that's usually the bad one. So
Because then it's coming into your world and it breaks your immersion. Whereas if it's the other one, it pulls you in. It makes you feel like there's a whole world beyond the screen. So
yeah,
that's been it's been our thoughts on 3D. They really fucked
Yeah.
up that technology.
But yeah, we saw Terminator, Dark Faith, which is indeed
Dark Fate.
Fate. What did I say?
Faith.
Oh no, Dark Fate.
Fate.
And it is indeed the third best Terminator.
deep fakes.
Yes.
The beginning of that movie's got some real deep fakes.
Yes,
that's
it
for
does.
Sure.
Yes, it does. We saw Jojo Rabbit, which was real good.
I have not seen that one yet.
I
See?
haven't had a chance to see it yet.
Well, it was real good. You guys should see it.
Because you went when I had class.
Yeah. Well, that's what you get for having class.
Yeah.
Sucker.
Yeah, and that's what you get for having work.
It was
Also
on Monday.
sucker.
Just quit
though.
your job and only
Did you have work on Monday? I thought you saw it on a Monday.
Jojo Rabbit.
I think so.
No, yeah, no, just for movies that we like.
Oh,
a lot
I
of
had
movies.
D&D.
Yeah.
Ah,
No, but I just mean in terms of a lot of movies that were like, oh, we'll just see it on Saturday or Sunday, and
Yes.
or Friday night or Thursday night, and it just doesn't work for you.
Be like, oh yeah, we're gonna play a game and then record a review.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna go to bed because you have to be up at 6 a.m. and we're gonna race off to the theaters and watch Parasite.
Yes,
And
which we almost didn't do.
because you almost went to the wrong theater.
well,
Correct.
it did go to the wrong theater.
Yes.
And then went to the right theater.
I was looping past the Big Show when I was opening up my app, and then it was just like,
Sloan's.
he was like, yeah, error, can't open up the ticket, and I was like, why? And I looked and it said Sloan's, and I was like, oh god damn it.
Mine opened, though.
Yeah.
It gave me my ticket.
So I turned around, and Jeff came in the door right when I was about to leave, and I was, Jeff, turn it around.
Just
Yep.
send it back.
Turn it around, Bright Eyes.
Yes. But yeah, Parasite was real good.
Yeah. Parasite was really good.
Awesome.
I highly recommend everyone go and see Parasite.
Definitely.
And I hope there's not a English dub of that movie.
Oh god, no. Please no.
I mean, they could probably do a pretty good job now. Like, I feel like there's
I will just say it can't be any worse than The Host.
No.
Like that we know we have
Stop.
seen the bottom. So it can only get better.
The bottom looked a lot like Godzilla.
Yeah.
I stared into the abyss and
Yeah.
the abyss stared back.
Yeah. Yeah, Parasite's real good. Go see it.
Yeah.
Also, what we saw a couple weeks ago was The Lighthouse.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, yeah, that was. I still am not entirely sure how I feel about that movie.
That's a fine thing to feel. But I know for me, like when I was trying to figure out how I was gonna rate Parasite, I was like, because normally, like, out of 10, but I'll usually go to 0.5s because I'm like, 8 feels too low, 9 feels too high, or whatever. For this
Right.
for Parasite, I was like, well, 8.5 feels too low, 9 feels too high, but I don't want to just keep going down to like 8.75.
Get more and more
Yeah.
granular.
So I'm gonna put Parasite to 9 because that feels closer to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I'm gonna move Lighthouse to 9.5 just to for myself to be like, because I still liked Lighthouse more.
Okay.
It is a crazy movie about watching two sailors go insane.
Well, Lighthouse wikis.
Yes.
yes,
Um,
which at least one of them I think was a sailor at one point.
yeah,
Yes.
used to be before he hurt his leg.
Yeah.
But then, like, his leg was fine at certain points in the movie and wasn't at other parts of the movie.
So much unreliable narrative.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, that's the whole movie.
Yeah.
It's total
I've
madness.
heard it being called as what is it called? Lamplight? No, not lamplighting.
Gaslighting.
Gaslighting the movie. And
yeah,
was
I
like,
could also see that.
Yep, that's totally no, but it's I don't want to say I was worried before we started, but I was curious why it chose it to be in black and white and then in the full screen, so 4:3
because it was
aspect.
it was on film,
Yes,
35 millimeter.
Yeah. But after while we were watching it, I was like, okay, he couldn't have the movie would be worse if it was not in those two things.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if I agree with that.
Lots of
But-
shots in this movie would not work if it was color.
yes.
I think it would depend on how they did the color.
Well, they did it way better without color.
Yeah, it was really good though. For me, one of the things that it did is it completely changed my opinion of Robert Pattinson as an actor.
Oh yeah, no, he's a real good actor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I always thought he was just that asshat from
The
Twilight. Yeah,
I mean, he's been trying to fight that for a while.
poor guy.
Yeah.
Well, especially because everybody else that I've seen in movies that came from Twilight, like the dude who was the werewolf guy,
Uh-huh.
and then Bella, that actress who's
I mean,
Kristen
Chris
Stewart.
I've seen
Yeah.
her do some good stuff.
She was just on
But-
SNL this week.
Yeah.
It's
That was
very infrequent that I see
Yeah.
her do anything that's. She's okay sometimes.
well, but also I think the character from Twilight was made to be that.
Oh yeah,
So I have seen her do more than that, and so I can. But yeah,
yeah. She has more range than Twilight gave
Yeah.
her indication for, but not much more.
Uh,
She's no Dame Helen Mirren.
I mean, sure, okay, yeah. I mean, if you're just gonna do that, yeah, you're right.
most people aren't.
It's true.
The Lighthouse has only made like $4 million or something, but it's also only cost like $3 million to make.
Yeah.
It was some crazy low budget movie that came out real well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unsurprisingly, Paul didn't like it.
Nope. Paul
But-
hated it.
Yeah.
He did like it more than Midsummer.
Barely.
And
I'm okay with that.
I liked Midsummer, but I only saw the director's cut. I didn't see the original version.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that made a huge difference or not.
Yeah, I still haven't seen Midsummer. It was one like the trailer I was kind of interested, but then like some of the way everybody talked about it in our group, like even those who liked it and those who didn't, was like, I can probably just wait and watch that
Yeah.
on streaming at some point.
And, I mean, and also for me, like a lot of it was like, one, I felt the directing a lot more from Robert Eggers
Yes.
than I did from Ari Astra, who did Midsummer. I felt it a lot more in a good way on The Lighthouse. And then also, I was a lot more interested in watching two guys go insane versus like
Yes.
sort of a like cult horror sort of thing. The Midsummer was
horror.
folk horror. Yes, that's what I meant.
I could see that.
What else did we see something else?
I don't know.
I don't know. But I also watched the new half season of BoJack Horseman, season 6, which was real good.
Okay.
So it didn't leave me super depressed like all the other ones, but I am super anxious based off of the last 10 minutes of the last episode.
Okay.
And I'm just like, oh God, this is going to turn out so...
So dark.
Yeah, so it's just going to get so fucked up.
This is the last season of
Correct,
BoJack,
yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, he Netflix canceled it, but they at least told him, "Hey, remember a long time ago when you asked us, could you just give me a heads up if you're going to cancel us? Here's the heads up."
Yeah.
So he's able to write an ending for it, but it does feel a little bit squished, like because I'm pretty sure this half season could have been a full season, and then like
Yeah.
the next one would have been, so.
That's fair.
The one movie I was thinking of that we saw was Mandy.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Oh God, I didn't go see that.
No,
I've
did-
seen that, and I have no desire to ever see that again, especially if I had to pay money to go see that.
this is my at least fourth time seeing that movie. I think I've watched it at home at least twice, and then
Twice in the theater.
and then with Aunt once.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then in theaters for the first time.
No, it's definitely a. What did I write in my film club thing?
Yeah, we stumbled into the Alamo Film Club for this showing. Apparently, they show like you can get like a passport thing, and they stamp it, and you can write down like your thoughts on the
Yep.
movies and stuff.
Yeah, and
Okay.
mine was just like Nick Cage visits Crazy Town because that's basically what happens.
Mine was he should get some blood tests done after all that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he gets a lot of blood in his face and or mouth.
Yeah,
Yes.
he does,
Just everywhere. Just
and just smiling the whole time.
yeah.
Yeah, Mandy continues to be
Yeah.
a cool movie.
Last bit of movie, TV stuff before we move on to actual games, because this is a gaming podcast. I promise you.
Well, I do have video game to talk about too, just slightly.
Okay.
Once,
Well, that's at least gaming.
Yeah.
So that's moving in the right
Okay,
direction.
Good.
I have now watched the first 2 episodes of Watchmen,
Well, there was only 2, so
at which there is well, by the time people are listening to this, there will be a third.
True.
Because tonight,
today is the
as we're
third.
recording,
Yeah.
the third one is
Yeah.
available.
Yeah, it is. Nice.
Definitely gonna watch it after this.
Watchmen's been real good.
It's been great. I'm not familiar with the comics.
Are you familiar with the Zack Snyder movie?
I am vaguely. I mean, I've seen it.
Yeah.
And I heard alternating things. Like at one point, I remember like I knew people didn't like it. A lot of people were angry at the movie.
Yeah,
but-
for weird, dumb reasons, but I understand why they made the changes because
Yeah.
it's not a comic book.
Yes.
Right, and that's mostly what I was under the impression that it was typically people who didn't really know the comics that were upset at the movie because it didn't make sense. They didn't think things made sense or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, then
people
I-
who didn't, or people who were like really into the comics, and so were like, you can't change.
How dare you change anything
Exactly.
in this movie?
Right.
Yeah.
So then I read a interview with the director for the show,
Mhm.
because I'm drawing a blank on his name, but
Damon
yeah.
Lindelof. Or,
Lost guy.
Yeah.
who did Lost.
Well,
and,
and is he the director or the like showrunner?
he's
I
the
think
showrunner.
Okay.
I think
all right.
writer as well.
Okay.
But he, he said like he had gotten a call from the
Alan Moore.
Alan Moore.
No, from the movie
Zack
Zack
Snyder.
Snyder. I'm real bad with some
Alan
of these
Moore
guys.
would not contact anyone.
No.
He's
No.
way too crazy now.
Yes, very much so.
He's basically the Unabomber at this point.
But apparently he's been Edgar or not Edgar.
What is going on?
I don't know what is happening. Lindelof is like he's been for a long time very like Watchmen obsessed. Like it's one of the things he credits with like getting him into like film and storytelling and all of that. So apparently Zack Snyder called him to sent him a copy of the movie initially to like run it by him because he was such a big fan.
Oh, gotcha.
Huh.
And he was like, I get what you're doing here, and I don't envy you what people are gonna say.
This is a sequel to the comics,
Yes,
not to the movie.
correct.
But they do make a really. I'm not sure if it was on. I bet it was on purpose. But the TV show that they watch in the second episode is very much in Zack Snyder's style. So it's sort of an homage to Zack Snyder's version of the Watchmen.
Gotcha.
It's a lot of that like slow motion, like punch kind of thing.
Yeah.
And just like hyper violent.
Yeah.
The main thing I wanted to say about the show though is so I'm somebody who like I had previously been familiar with like the 1920s Tulsa race riots, which apparently shockingly few people are.
Yeah.
It was still like even knowing about that whole like sequence was fucking intense.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because it takes place in Tulsa.
Yeah, the whole show takes place in Tulsa. So yeah, really, really awesome so far. I'm super digging it. Both episodes have had like major kind of like things happen where it's like
he's not making the lost mistake of where you're putting up questions with no answers. The question is put and the answer is given.
Yeah,
Good.
And the only slow thing is with Ozymandias's character right now. You're trying to figure out what's going on with him and his weird like horse riding tomato plant tree scenario.
I guess I did not realize that was Ozymandias.
Yes.
That explains a fair amount about why we care about that person.
Yes. I'm not sure if they've ever even said who his name is, but the only way you would know is knowing that he is playing that person via the credits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not going to get into spoilers for that show,
Yeah.
but there are other clues that I guess
I can't remember
could have
that
been
actor's name.
He's one of the only ones I actually recognize.
was
Jeremy
the-
Irons?
Jeremy
Yes.
Irons.
Okay, I was going to be like...
Batman Butler Man.
Yeah. As someone who hasn't watched the show yet, I was like, that's the only person I know on that. Is he?
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
But okay. So that's enough of like the movie and TV hour. I don't know how long that took.
Let's say 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Okay. So now
Sure.
we move into some gaming. So Zach, you said you had a brief video game tidbit.
So I finally decided to just say fuck it and downloaded Outer Worlds.
Yes.
Not Wilds.
Yeah,
Different
Worlds.
game.
Yes, it
Also
is.
very good, but very different.
I just decided to just say fuck it and try it out because I got done with Lyft early yesterday. And I was like, well, I've got time to kill today and tomorrow. Why don't I just try this game? And so far it's been good. I got to my second location today and
Groundbreaker.
and accidentally took one too many things. And then so I I proceeded to kill the entire station.
Wow.
And what's nice though is that I did save before I did any of that.
Are you playing on easy?
No,
or normal?
normal.
Okay.
Normal, yeah.
I've heard of the game is very easy on normal. I'm playing on hard.
Gotcha. Well, I didn't.
I've died twice on normal.
Great.
Great. Good job. I died until I realized how the fighting, like how much damage you can take, and actually paying attention to stuff like that. But
Can use your inhaler.
exactly, yeah. Get those drugs in you.
Yeah, put the banana in the inhaler.
Inhaling some bananas.
Weird space bananas.
Yes.
That you can put in an inhaler.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's
You
been
can put anything in the inhaler.
Yeah.
Really.
yeah. I mean, it's reminding me like I'm getting, like it feels like Mass Effect or some of those other sort of games, but with first person. So,
Okay.
which works.
Not so much the Fallout or Elder
I mean-
Scrolls vibe, or
No, not for me as much,
Okay.
but that's me because I also didn't play those that much usually because of the theme.
Yeah.
I don't care about post-apocalyptic or fantasy. So I think that's what's keeping me going so far. I mean, it's not like I am enjoying it.
it's
but-
just very well written.
Yes, it is.
And you make some interesting choices.
Yeah. No, near the end of like the first world,
Edgewater.
Well,
the town of Edgewater.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I got to go make a decision. And
I think it's called Terra 2.
Yes, Terra 2 is what it's called. Yeah. But you're like, oh, you got to make this decision. And then I was like, oh, I know what I want to do. And then I start walking up to do it. And then my companion's like, oh, by the way, I also want to just make you
feel really bad about what you're gonna do.
So, and here's these really good reasons why you shouldn't do it. And I was like, God damn it.
Did you side with the town or not the town?
I side with the town.
All right, don't say what happens because I haven't.
Okay.
I'm rapidly approaching that decision point. And I'm curious what decision you were going to make, and if like, because now I know the companion apparently one of the versions.
Yeah.
They might be like, maybe don't do that, and I don't know which way to.
Well,
go with
and
that.
I'm not saying whether I did what that person said I should do or
right.
So. But I just really liked it, how I was like, oh, this seems really clear cut. And there's like ambiguities and difficulties. Here you go. And I was like, God damn it, I don't want to hold this shit now.
And that's how a lot of the game works.
Yeah.
Even the main story quest line, it's just like the scientist that breaks you out of the colony ship, Frozen Land. You could just immediately turn him in and just start working for the board. And there's like a whole separate game quest line for that you're working for the corporates. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
It's apparently not as long as you if you would go the other side, but
that's why you have multiple saves, and
it does have like a unique other side to.
Nice.
Like, you can just be a corporate bastard.
Which that's the thing I like so far in it is like just how over the top corporate capitalist hellscape.
It's late stage space capitalism.
Yes, it is.
It is out of control.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. I definitely do pick up on the like Fallout.
I mean, I can
Elder Scrolls vibes. Like the leveling is straight out of there. Like a lot of the way you pick
the skill system's better,
it's much better, but it's still very reminiscent.
It's by Obsidian, who made all the original. I think it has staff from the original Fallouts 1 and 2. Black Isle.
Yeah.
They have a lot of people that made a lot of those CRPGs like Baldur's Gate and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They made Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
But Obsidian has been known for making buggy, trashy messes when they release and patching it later. This one is actually super clean and awesome.
Yeah, which has been nice.
It runs well.
Yeah. I'm still not.
This is the first game in a long time. Sorry, Zach.
No.
This is the speed of it running well. This is the first game that I've encountered yet that Megan's computer actually can't play at the higher levels. Like it gets real stuttery.
What level are you playing at then?
I had to kick it down to like one step above low.
Really? Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's surprising.
Yeah.
Mine can handle. I have 4 on high and 1 on them on very high. But
I think I'm running very high on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you built that computer.
Yeah, but it was a super budget build.
I'm
Like real budget build.
I mean, I don't. My processor's from 7 years ago.
I mean, that computer's like 5 years old.
Is it?
Yeah.
I felt like you built it. Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
we built that shortly after we moved in together.
Oh, okay.
So no, that one's getting pretty old,
Okay.
which is why I'm probably
What
pretty
video card does it
soon-
have in it?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Pretty soon I'm probably going to move the ones from this computer, the podcast computer, down to there to give hers a boost, and then replace these with even better ones that can hopefully handle running 3 audio and video programs at the same time.
Right, yeah.
Need a better processor.
Yep. Anyhow,
Yeah.
yeah. Outer Worlds, real good.
I still wish that it was third person instead of first person, but
I
that's
thought there was a third person camera.
There should be a way to switch to
then
third
I
person.
will 100% be doing that when I get home.
There
Yeah.
has been in every single other game of that nature, like the Fallout, Elder Scrolls series, Obsidian, Bethesda.
I'd be surprised
whatever.
if you can't.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
And
Well, I guess the
and there's
question
probably-
is if there's an option for it, does it actually work, quote unquote work, if that makes sense?
I hate playing in third person, so I wouldn't know. I
Okay.
almost always switch to first person if I can. So,
Yeah.
we're apparently opposite in that regard, Zach. Like in so many ways.
Yeah. What do you have against third person? Just curious.
I like first person more.
Okay.
I don't know. Because I don't really like have anything against third person. Like some games are fine in third person. Like, Resident Evil, for instance, like the remake of that, it's third person and it's great. But I feel more immersed if it's first person, I guess, than if it's third. If it's third, I really feel like I'm playing the character versus if it's first, I can feel like I'm the character.
Okay. Well, I never feel I'm the character. So, okay.
Oh,
Gotcha.
yeah, I always I put myself inside the character. Like I do things based on what I would do, not what I think the character
I mean, I
would
still do that too, but that's That's because that's usually I want to run it like this, or I want to run it like whatever. Anyway, we should probably
We should definitely move on to board games.
yes.
Because it's been 10 minutes of Outer Wilds.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
No, sorry, Outer Worlds, not
Yeah,
Outer
see?
Wilds.
God damn it, Jeff.
It's every time.
I mean,
time.
I blame those games more than Jeff.
Yeah.
So or me.
I also did play a lot of Outer Wilds when it came out. It was very good.
But yeah, so we need to switch over to what we've been playing because we've got a decent amount. We got 2 weeks worth because we skipped that whole
Thing because of Dread.
Because of Dread. So we've done 2 Friday live streams.
Yes, we did.
Because we do live streams on Fridays. We did this most recent Friday. We did Mystic Vale, Conclave specifically, which is Jeff's copy. He's got the Conclave box and the fancy insert and all of that stuff.
Broken Token gave me a coupon to get 10% off when I ordered later because I didn't get it at Geekway.
Yeah.
And then they had a Labor Day sale and both of the discounts stacked. And I was
Nice.
like, it's time.
It's time.
Because you never get sales on Broken Token stuff unless it's like clearance.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they're coming out with the new one soon and they want to get rid of the old one before the new one comes out.
Right?
Yeah, so we our different Vale setup because in Conclave it gives you different cards because it doesn't want to just smush everything together.
Yeah.
And so ours had
the Conclave in Mystic Vale Conclave is sets of cards that you take 6 random selections of and then build into what you're going to play with.
yeah,
Right.
which basically became everything up to Conclave. Like it was
Yes.
a mix of everything. It didn't have we literally found out today that the Conclave didn't include any of the further expansion stuff.
The most 2 recent
Yes.
expansions.
So that would be why we didn't play with Twilight Garden.
Which
Yes.
adds the negative victory point chits in.
Yeah.
Which it was a long enough play of it, and I'm glad we didn't have the
Yeah.
negative point chips. Like because there was already a lot of like negative things going on in that game.
Yes.
The 6 conclaves we had chosen at random were clearly, here's all of the corruptions.
Yeah.
Because that was like, at one point, 7 of the 9 cards that were
multiple times.
out
7
multiple
of them.
times had corruption on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's usually what you don't want to buy. And
Yeah.
it's hard to come up with a strategy when it's just corruption all over the place. Because
Yeah.
you're either busting all the time or you get 2 cards out.
And so you just got to start loading up every card
Yeah.
to in an attempt to get that. So
Yeah. So it was a good stream. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
I don't
there
know
were
what
some
the
stream issues.
30,000 dropped frames.
Just in that third, like, because we stopped it 3 times, but the middle one, like, I don't think we even ever we maybe played
something like that.
one turn, like
Yeah.
one of us took a turn, and then everybody was like, "Nope, it's worse. It's worse. Good God, it's worse. Take it back." Yeah, apparently there's issues on Fridays with bandwidth in my neighborhood. So I'll have to fuck around with that a little bit too.
Yeah.
But the game itself went well, and I thought overall, when it wasn't dropping frames, it was good.
Yeah.
Um,
There wasn't as much
yeah,
sassiness in the entire thing, and that's one of the problems when you have sort of a multiplayer solitaire game like Mystic Vale.
true. There was also a distinct lack of alcohol.
Yes, and a distinct time
Crunch.
Time crunch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So yeah, Mystic Vale was good. You can go watch it on-
I enjoy the conclave system.
Yes, I did like
I'll
that.
probably organize it all to where everything is in its various conclaves and see how
That seems like a good way to organize it.
that
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
But there's dividers for everything. There's dividers for every expansion, or enough dividers for every expansion.
but they're horribly named.
But they're not labeled.
Yeah.
They're just colored, and you sort of have to mate. Not all the colors. The colors don't match the expansions.
Yes.
which is also a problem.
Yeah, that's annoying.
And also that the cards don't have markings to denote expansions, so that's also bad.
So you have to
Yeah.
find a list online to then go and divide out based on name for what goes to which expansion.
Yeah.
Or just buy
the
6 copies of everything and then have them all in every combination of expansion and base game.
There you go. Perfect.
Perfect.
You do that.
There's
Jeff.
that's
You've got enough space for it in that insert.
It's true.
yeah,
I did put the one piece of foam in there.
you did.
Yeah, so Mystic Vale will be up on our Twitch channel for a little bit. You can go catch that. I don't know if I'll migrate that one over to YouTube just because it had so much
Drop frames.
drop frames and like multiple start and stops, and that's a pain. I'm gonna try and keep YouTube for like things that go well.
So that means hopefully we'll get a good Mansions of Madness up there too.
Yes. Definitely need to redo Mansions of Madness. But the other game we streamed the previous Friday was Downfall, which we also played that Wednesday. We played a learning game that Wednesday at game night, and then we streamed it on Friday.
A refresher for
A
some of
relearning
us.
for you two.
A relearning.
And then a learning for me and Shion.
Yeah. And then Shion joined us on that stream. And
Stream went well.
stream went well. That one I don't think had many audio
No.
or video issues. It went
Yeah,
smooth.
it went smooth. Occasionally she would jump off frame to eat food.
Yeah.
Then come back.
There were a couple times she just disappeared. So you'll just see an empty chair and then maybe hear her munching in the corner. Very golem-like.
hmm
Just crouching at the end of the table eating.
I mean,
Smashing a fish on a rock. Singing.
yes.
I wish Shion listened to the episode
I
so
know.
she could hear us make fun of her here. But yeah, it went well. Downfall.
It's a 4X game.
4X.
Post-apocalypse.
Yeah. We had
Um,
various amounts of radiation crushing everything in both games.
Yeah.
Radiation gets to be a problem if people don't take care of it, and
Nope.
sometimes it's hard to take care of it all by yourself.
it's an action drafting game.
Yeah.
So sometimes you don't get past the one action that can get rid of radiation in time for it to
Yep.
be
Yep.
where. But that's why you have a reserve. You keep a build in reserve
Yes.
at all times.
Yeah.
Until you use that build because it's in your reserve.
And then you immediately fill that reserve back up with
Well,
another build.
Yeah, you're just waiting another 6 turns to get a build to put back in there.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, I just need that one build. And then you get handed 3 freaking
Commands.
command cards, and then you draw a command card, and you're like, I have 4 command cards. Oh,
no. Oh God, yeah. But yeah, Downfall is
It's downfall.
is Downfall. It's fine. I don't want to go too much into like
No.
overall thoughts on it because we are going to be reviewing it at the end of this week.
Yeah.
So Friday we will record the review. It will release.
No, we're doing Tapestry.
That's right. Downfall's still further off.
Yes.
We still probably need more plays of Downfall
Yes.
too, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind.
No, but Downfall's an area control game that is different, like sort of like how Rising Sun was a different sort. It had different things in its area control, but it's different than that different. If
Yeah.
that
Yes.
makes sense.
Like
Yes.
combat only happens with certain cards. So even
Yeah.
if you're on the same space with someone else, you're just fighting for control of that space. You're not fighting so much each other.
Well, yeah, and then you're also fighting, like you're trying to survive on your own spaces.
Correct.
So to try and influence other people's stuff, usually it's like has to be really worth it in order to do it.
Yeah.
The fucking radiation. It always, like when we end it, it always just like, well, we're fucked now.
Yeah, like
But it's over, so it's fine. We don't have to
yeah.
imagine of a world past this turn.
No.
yeah. It's always like, and we're coming back to reconquer the earth and repopulate, and we're all gonna die.
Yeah, it
By the end of the
doesn't
game.
make a lot of sense.
Nope, but I got 45 points, so that's all that matters.
Well, it was clearly the John C. Clare streaming weeks, because those are both his games, Mystic Vale and Downfall.
yes,
Oh,
they are.
jeez.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Okay. Well,
We just need to play some Edge of Darkness next.
sure. You've got it right.
No, you're good. You don't need to play it. You're fine. You're fine.
I think somebody was playing it during our Mystic Vale stream. So they mentioned like in chat, like, oh, I'm playing
Edge of Darkness.
Edge of Darkness. But yeah, so we played both of those for streams. I also played this past Wednesday at game night. I played 2-player Lee Harvey, LaHarv, with Captain America, Chris Evans. And he hadn't played before, which kind of caught me off guard. Like he was playing something else when I got there, and I played another game, and then we were sitting there chatting, and he's like, "Well, do you want to play something?" And I looked around, and I was like, "Well, everybody looks like everybody else is playing anything. Did you have any good 2-player games?" He's like, "No, not really. What about you?" And I was like, "Well, actually, I did bring Harv if you wanted to play that." He's like, "I've never played." I was like, "Oh God, you need to play."
Guess I'm
And
gonna
then-
win a game then.
And then I was, yeah. And then I was immediately like, "Oh God, I have to teach the Harv, and I haven't played it in like, I don't know, 2 years. I haven't played it since Heavy Cardboard was in Denver, because the last time I played it was a Heavy Cardboard stream.
Wow.
Yeah. But so I ended up deciding to do the shortened version, which it has a shortened version. You take out a lot of stuff, a lot of cards, and you play a dramatically shorter number of rounds. You start with a ton more resources at the start of the game, and you start with a ship. So like the first feeding in a 2-player shortened game, you have enough food in your ship alone. Like you don't need any. So it gives you basically 2 full rounds to get your food engine going, which is great.
Kind of like, I guess Downfall also had a food engine. I was just thinking, I played something with feeding recently.
Yes, Downfall.
Yeah, Downfall.
But it went really well. Chris liked it. He liked it so much, in fact, that he wanted to play it again. So I suggested that we do it as a stream. So podcast listeners, jump over to Twitch and you can catch the replay of Chris and I's 2-player Harv stream from Monday. People tuning in to the stream, you can, we'll be streaming that tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. We're going to do the full 2-player game with the Grand Hamo. I'm sure Alex will correct me. I'm probably saying that wrong. Le Grand Hamo.
I don't know what that
I
is.
don't know what it actually translates to either, but it's some special building cards that get shuffled in.
Oh, is there an expansion for that at all? Or
that's the only expansion that I'm aware of.
They made that 2-player version?
The Inland Port, yeah.
Inland Port.
Yes, which I do own Inland Port, and I like Inland Port, but like a lot of the 2-player versions of those games, it's a different game.
Yeah.
It's just very similar.
Like Cave vs.
theme.
Cave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be a fun stream. I also played Between Two Castles at game night. Between Two Castles continues to be real good.
How many people?
6.
Nice.
And that's one of the things I like the most about this game. You know, it takes roughly the same amount of time and plays basically the same, whether you're playing with 3 or up to 7.
Yeah.
Like adding more players doesn't really change what anybody's doing dramatically.
And I would say it actually helps just because it gets more of the tiles out there.
Yes.
Because, you're randomly shuffling them, and like you might not, if you only grab like half of them, saying you're playing with 4 people, and you just don't grab the piles that are like heavy and downstairs.
Right.
Then you're like missing out on those. Whereas you get more people, you have a better distribution of everything.
The flip side of that is in a lower player game, like a 3 or 4, you get those 9 tiles, and you can be like, well, hopefully some of these will come back around to me.
No,
you don't get that with a 6-player or 7-player.
Not at all.
So that was good. I claimed the second moral victory. So I didn't get the victory. That was Wes. He was to my left.
Nice.
Are you saying second place?
No.
Third place.
Third place.
Oh, I don't. I think I was second place.
Okay.
But moral victory is like...
But V and I were joking about moral victory. So V claimed the first moral victory in that because we were talking about it during the game, that one of her like secondary goals is to have your castles like have the least difference between your 2 castles. And her castles were both identical.
Hey, I've had that happen. The first game of that I played, I had that, and I ended up in like 4th or 5th because of it.
She was in like 3rd or 4th.
Yeah.
And then I claimed the second moral victory, which for me, my moral victory for that game is if I don't win per the rules, I want to have the highest value castle. And Wes and I had the highest value castle, and then Wes's other castle was higher than V and I's castle. Not by much.
Yeah.
It was close. But yeah.
Still love that game, yeah.
Really good. And then you guys can jump back in here. We played Cartographers.
Yes, we did.
You guys had both played before, and you taught me. And I almost didn't want to even play this because it has fucking that role player fucking name on it.
Well, it's because it's in the role player universe, which doesn't mean anything, but okay.
Exactly.
No,
like
it just means it has the art of it, basically.
A role player tale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is what they call them.
But considering my pure loathing hatred of all things role player, I just wanted to be like, no, I'm not. They didn't need to put that name on there, and I'm going to spite them.
They do, because role player is really popular and made them a lot of money, so they're going to put that name on everything because people that like that game and buy everything role player will also buy it.
Like they did with Lockup and I think one other game too.
Yeah, that's like a prison dungeon board game.
Yeah, which I've heard is pretty good.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a really good game, so I'm glad I didn't go with that.
It's a flip and fill.
Which is funny that role players roll and write. They're like, no, we're just going to do cards. It's fine.
Yeah.
But essentially you're cartographers, thus the name, and you're making a map, and you flip cards, and then you choose with the card that comes up. You can have like 1 to 2 choices of how to do the card and then where to do it on your board, and you use that to try and fill in your board, and you're scoring different points each round. Kind of like the scoring reminds me a lot of Isle of Skye.
Yes, it does. Yep.
Because like there'll be 4 goal cards, and the first round you do 1 and 2, and then you do 1 and 3, and then 1 and 4.
2 and 3,
or, yeah,
3 and
yeah,
4,
yeah.
1 and
Yeah.
4.
No,
Yeah.
it's anytime I've introduced to somebody who has played Isle of Skye, I'm like, okay, so it's like this with Isle of Skye scoring.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mhm.
And then I really like personally so far, I am thoroughly sick and tired of roll and writes. Like that genre has wore itself out. However, I've played 2 flip and fills, and they've both been fantastic. So more flip and fills, less roll and writes.
And we played with colored pencils.
Yes.
Yeah, the sweet color pencil, erasable colored pencil set that Zach got,
Yeah.
Jeff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you went through some key decisions of which colors to use for which things.
Well, some of them are easy. Purple, blue, green for
And
like,
red.
Monster,
Yeah.
Monster River, Town, Forests.
And yeah.
And then the
farmland
is kind of like a weird brown.
It looks like a gold almost.
Yellow was way too light, but orange works.
Yeah, orange worked
perfectly.
well for it.
Yeah.
Although I do remember you getting mad at me because I did not draw the symbols on
All
there.
you did was color in the squares.
Yeah, it looks a lot better than any of the bad drawings I did.
Well, you do the drawing and then you color in the drawing.
I understand that, but I could just color it in then.
So you scored 0 because you'd never actually put anything on the board. You just colored in squares.
I did drawing for like
DNF
the first couple
did not finish.
cards, and then it was like, no, I'm not going to do this every time, and then I stopped doing it. Especially because I rapidly was like, no, I'm definitely not winning here.
So what did you think of the fact that other people can interact with your board?
I thought that was clever. Because that's one thing that entire genre really lacks is any kind of interactivity, and it's a balance kind. It's not like Jeff randomly gets something where he gets to fuck with me, and then that's just it.
No, it's an appointed.
Everybody shifts their things. Everybody gets to do it. So the only thing I didn't like about that, and it happened both fucking times because we only got 2 monsters, and both times whichever one of you I passed to really fucked me, and whichever one of you the other one passed to didn't really fuck them. And so it was like, you guys are working together.
You just have to be really efficient with your fucking.
Well, it's like, yeah, when Zach passed you, Jeff, I didn't feel like you fucked him that hard. And then when you passed him, I didn't feel like he fucked you that hard.
I think I did a decent job of putting it where it had all of the negative points around it. That's kind of the goal of those. And I think on the last one, at one point, someone could only put 1 square because it couldn't fit anywhere because it was so late.
Yeah. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was clever. I don't know how long I could see it wearing out.
Well,
but currently
I feel like so far, I mean, and it's felt fresh every time I played it, mainly because like one, you have different goals.
There's 4 or 5 different goals for each type.
So there's a total of 16 of them, but obviously can like 4 for each category. But the fact that, having something come out on A versus coming out on B means your board is going to look very different.
Mm-hmm.
Because if like the Borderlands comes out on D, then you're going to have a lot of time to build up for that. Whereas if it comes out on like B or C, you're like, well, I have to try and push for that early if I want to get it. And then
Yeah, that's something I really like, though, with that type of scoring, because that same thing applies in Isle of Skye.
Right.
Like that, you have to take that into account. And sometimes you're like, well, this one is scoring so early, it's not even worth worrying about. Like, fuck it. It's dead to me already.
The Borderlands happening first scoring phase is real rough because you can't really do it.
Unless you get real lucky.
Yeah, at least it does cycle back around. So Isle of Skye doesn't. Like, it slowly shifts to where, like, the A is useless after, like, 2 or 3. So it really would have been bad if cartographers played like that. But since the last one comes back and picks that A spot back up, it does give you a chance to, like, still work for that final scoring.
Yeah. But good to know that, like, once you get into fall, then B doesn't matter anymore. So you're like, oh, that was the forest. I don't care about forest. Nope. And then every time a forest come up, we'd always just be like, God damn it, I don't give a shit about this, man.
The only thing it would be is to fill in more like vertical or horizontal rows.
But yeah, that's pretty much everything I played. I feel like I snuck in a game of Root somewhere in there, but I think I'd already talked about that back on episode 164 maybe. And I don't think Megan and I played any 2-player games outside of game night. I wanted to, but she was so busy getting ready for Greece, and then she's been gone. So yeah, I think that's basically everything. I don't know. I'm willing to call that everything and move on. So Jeff, what have you been playing?
The only thing I played that we haven't already talked about was Obscurio.
Which I also did play. I forgot about that.
Yes.
Almost surprised you didn't mention that too, because that's pretty much everything on the list.
Yes.
You'd be like, I played all these games. All right,
Well,
you guys go. Well, we already talked about them, so that's it.
Yep. Obscurio. It's like a competitive trader mechanic Mysterium.
Yes, it's potentially a better Mysterium.
I would say it's a better Mysterium. So we played with 7 players. 1 player plays as like the Forbidden Tome or something. It's got a really nice magnetic board that the weird Dixit sort of Obscurio cards. I don't know the Dream cards. I think it was Dixit as Dream cards, aren't they?
Yes.
Yes.
But the weird art cards. They're circular discs in this, and then the Forbidden Book player puts these little magnetic arrows to point at specific things on them to try and clue in to which of the 6 doors that you need to go through. You have a certain amount of life. For every person that's going through a wrong door, you lose life. There is a trader that gets to pull like these trap discs out that let them see what the actual card is supposed to be, and then they can choose to put in like fake or very similarly looking discs in there to try and confuse players, or they can see the clues that he's giving before the other players do, and weird stuff like that. There's a whole bunch of different ones. There's like a trap disc that just lets him draw more trap discs. It gets interesting with when you get towards the end, because there's a sand timer. The more time you're taking, the more trap discs they can take on the following round. So if someone's clearly delaying, you can be like, no, like there's literally 5 of us here. There's seconds left. Just put it there because we've all agreed. And then they're delaying and saying, oh, well, maybe it could be this one. Oh, maybe. And it's like, no, you're clearly delaying, traitor. Just put it there. And that's what he did basically the whole time. And when we hit the life point where we got to then accuse the traitor and get them, and then you remove them from the game if you unanimously vote them out. If you don't, I think you lose life, and then you have to vote again.
Yep.
And you have to vote until you either lose or find the traitor.
And then you have to keep playing with whatever life you have left once you found the traitor.
Yes.
Gotcha.
We unanimously found the traitor.
It was not even close.
Weird.
Because it was very much like, hey, you've been delaying this whole game.
Yeah. Well, and he
So
kept,
many
like,
delayed game
anytime
vowels.
We would be like, the entire table would be unanimous about like what door it needed to be. And he'd be like, well, what about this door? And like making really...
Or trying to, like, bad decisions.
Yeah.
Bad arguments.
Real bad arguments. It's like, no.
Or he'd try and convince people like, well, maybe we should go to multiple doors and not just pile onto the same one. And it was always the one that we piled onto that was going to be it anyways.
Yeah. Like there are some times I could see that being a true statement. Like if you're really, the entire group is very ambiguous.
There was the one with the like dragon breath. And like there was 2 dragons and there was 2 dragon breaths. And it was and we weren't sure if it was the color that we were pointing at or if it was specifically like, hey, this is you're not pointing at the eye of the dragon. You're just pointing at the dragon. Because it's just a little point.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was a more interesting version of Mysterium or Dixit or any of those type
The
games.
little magnetic book thing is fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's a sweet component piece.
Yes.
I don't know if that would make a very good stream. Probably not as much.
It's a lot of passing around the clue book thing because all the players have to see
at least talk during that a lot, or like you could just set it out in the open in the center of the table or something. But like, I don't know. It's a very visual game.
Yeah.
And like, streams are visual. So it might. I don't know. I want to play it more.
Yeah.
Mysterium I always liked until I just was like, I've played this.
You liked it until you didn't. Yeah.
But I wouldn't even say I don't like it anymore. Like, that's why I was
You're just done
hesitant
with
to be
it.
like, this is a better version of it. Like, because I don't know if this one's going to be any different. Like, I get to
It's
see
just
playing
a
this a few
fresher
times.
one for right
and
now.
Yeah, it's slightly different take on it.
Gotcha.
Same thing. Like, I liked Dixit, and then Mysterium came along and was like, oh, this is a better Dixit. But then it went through the exact same life cycle that Dixit did, where it's like, this is novel, this is novel, this is novel. It's no longer novel.
Gotcha.
So we'll see. Was there anything else that you played, Zach?
No.
Cool.
Not really. So yeah.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, do we have a bloody minute this week?
We have 2 of them.
2 bloody. So it's
Bloody
still,
2 minutes.
It's still just a bloody minute.
Yes.
Like, regardless of how many games, it's still the bloody minute. Even though we all know it's going to be much more than a minute.
So I got my last 2 games. The first of them was against a one of the my second of 3 Dark Elf teams I'm playing against this season.
Jesus.
The 6s and 7s, who I think I had looked back, and I think my Croxagor's last skill was against him like many games ago.
Oh wow.
My Crocs has been 2 star player points away from getting his 3rd skill for like 12 games or something insane.
Years.
Yeah, years of not being able to get him his 3rd skill. That won't be a double, so I can then retire him and start a new Crocs, which sucks because I could have been on my 2nd or 3rd Crocs by now. But sadly, no. I'll probably that'll be just in time for the playoffs to have a fresh Crocs without block.
Gotcha.
Or I'll just give him Juggernaut or something. But then I
Right.
have to blitz with him. So the game against 6s and 7s, he took a 2nd Apothecary and a Bloodwiser Keg / Bloodwiser Babe, the one that gives you the 3+ KO return instead of the 4+ KO return.
Right.
Because he was worried about having all of his guys off the field, which did not come to pass because I couldn't break armor for shit the whole game. He was rolling above average. We weren't really doing any damage to each other. Twice I injured his players, but he apothecaried them back. But that was the only injuries I got or casualties I got in the whole game. He was dodging away almost his entire team most every turn, which a lot of times are 2+ or 2+ rerolls. And then towards the end, I was getting slaughtered by like stuns and things like that. He was breaking armor 9 when he shouldn't, or he dodged away, I think, 8 or 9 players towards the end of the game. It was like 2-1, and then for 2 turns in a row, he just dodged everything away, and I couldn't get to anything, and he wasn't failing any rolls. And even in his own words, he was like, "Yeah, I basically stole that tie," because for making as many 2+ rolls, even with rerolls, he should be failing 1 to 2 in that session or series of die rolls, and was not doing so. So that led to my first not win, also known as tie. Next game, just played this last Wednesday against the Khemri. He plays a full 16-player team.
Jesus.
With a lot of skeletons. Khemri has the worst, I'd say the worst agility in the game. Their highest agility is 2, so they're only picking up on a 4+.
Jesus. Wow.
Yeah, that's not great.
But they also have the highest, I would say the highest strength generally without a nega trait, or at least a bonehead equivalent. They have 4 Tomb Guardians that are the move 4, strength 5.
Oh, damn.
Edge 1, armor 9. So they basically get 4 big guys. The whole team has regeneration. The only the negative trait that Tomb Guardians have, they can always activate, so they don't have to roll really stupid or bonehead or wild animal or anything like that. But if they ever get casualtied, so if I ever roll a 10 on the injury and I have to see what their injury or their on the casualty table, you roll twice and they take both of them.
What is that called?
Decay.
Okay.
So if they get hurt, they get really hurt.
Right.
But they're really hard to hurt. I was with the beginning of the game started with Pouring Rain. Pouring Rain is a -1 to all pickup rolls.
Yeah, that's not great.
So for him, that turns his 4+ rerolls into 5+ rerolls.
Oh no.
Downside is the kickoff at the start of the game was changing weather, which changed to nice.
Oh.
So he did choose to kick to me because of that. Because it was going to be him just trying to pick up the ball over and over as my skinks just run back there, pick up the ball on a 4+ and then score.
Right.
Start of the game was fine. The Tomb Guardians were doing some work as he continued for the rest of the game. He just fucking powed me into the ground. On 1 die, on 2 die, on 3 die. He could not fail hitting me down and rolling my armor. He wasn't breaking armor, but almost every single block that he threw
was a POW.
Was a POW or me down in some fashion.
Gotcha.
It really sucked. Like I couldn't do anything. All my dice were terrible. I threw 6 double skulls in that game.
Christ,
that's
man.
a 1 in 36.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I was able to re-roll the 3 I rolled in the first half with all of my re-rolls. But like I was throwing so many double skulls, and it was like getting a 6-on-5 hit against Tomb Guardians. Like I'd be knocking his Tomb Guardians down. The Tomb Guardians also have the same like skill access as big guys, so they need doubles to get block. None of his big guys had block. Like even my strength 4 versus 5 block, no block with a reroll, I should be knocking him down because even though he gets to choose, he doesn't have block. There's literally one side of that die that doesn't knock him down
or push him
or doesn't knock me down. I'd either push him, but I was rolling skulls on every single one of those with rerolls.
Yeah, that sucks, dude.
Thankful. I mean, he wiped me down to 3 people left on the pitch at the end.
Oh my God.
The reason he plays 16 players is because he fouls every turn with his skeletons. So if someone's on the ground, he fouls.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. That way, if he gets someone off the pitch, or if he gets banned, like, all right, I've got 5 more in reserves. Also, his armor in general is pretty low. It's 7. So all the skeletons can break pretty easily, but I was breaking nothing. I got 1 KO in the game. He had 2 guys that were banned, and I surfed one of his blitzers, and it just went into reserves. So nothing I was doing anything. Even with all of my strength 5 dudes and guard that I had, I was just doing nothing.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. I was diced pretty hard in this game. I did, luckily, the kickoff and the second half, he did not guard for the blitz. I got blitz. My skinks were close enough to literally get under the ball that I had just kicked.
Wow.
I did not catch it, but it was my block skink, so it's blodge. Blodge sidestep, and he blitzed the skink, didn't knock him over. I have sidestep. I sidestepped onto the ball to bounce it out of where his skeletons were around. So there was only 1 tackle zone on it. So I was able to pick it up on a 4+. I had a reroll. I was able to dodge away on a 3+ with a reroll, and I scored on that blitz.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was so I scored on my 1 in the second half. But that was my only score. At one point, he was able to pound my cage out of the way, and the ball bounced onto his mummy, who then picked it up on a 6.
Wow.
One of his mummies has edge 0, which is effectively just a 1,
right?
Because 1 is still just a 6+, 5+. Yes. But his mummy caught it, and I just couldn't do anything because I was on the ground across the board. I was like literally shocked towards the second part of the second half when he rolled 2 pushes in a row. I was like, I think that's the first pushes you've rolled all game.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's the first time you haven't just dominated me.
Yes.
The whole game.
Yeah, I got crushed. The upside is all my casualties were badly hurts. I'd never had to even use my apothecary, which I was saving for when I was going to be taking a serious injury.
Yeah.
He also had a series of pounding on a skink with 3 die, and he kept knocking him down, but never broke his armor. He hit him 5 times on 3 die.
Wow.
And didn't even stun him.
So that ended in a
2-1 loss. First loss of the season.
So you went from undefeated to first tie to first loss.
Yes.
So what is your how much is left in the season?
2 more games.
Okay.
Ant just ran the playoff chances. So we have a bigger playoff this year. Instead of 8 slots, we have 12. So we'll have 5 from the vaults, 4 from the Darklands,
4 from the middle,
and 3 from the Abyss,
okay,
which is the bottom.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then you said like the top 3 of the whatever the vault, and then like one of the other one gets a bye, right?
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't remember what the
Gotcha.
actual playoff games are going to look
Gotcha.
like.
I think it was that way. He did it it looked like he was doing it that way. So that way it was like 8 games being played, and then the next week another or 4 games being played, and then another 4 games being played.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But he ran the like playoff chances. I'm at like a 96% to make
Okay.
it into the playoffs. I'm still second place. And there's 5 slots, so I doubt I'm gonna. Even if I lose the next 2 games, I'm probably not gonna drop to 6th.
Right.
And I'm definitely not losing the next game. It's against Frank, who's been a veteran kill player and Blood Bowl player for many, many years. He's been in since the first season, but his team is just getting slaughtered every round. He's playing Dark Elves, and he has missed next games, which like he'll lose like 2 blitzers, but now he's playing with 2 blitzers instead of 4. And then in that following game, he'll like lose the other 2 blitzers and like a witch elf on this next game. And so then those 2 blitzers come back, but then he's now down another 3 positionals. And so it's just kind of that over and over and over again. And he's just getting boned. My human team in that first 2 seasons, it's very similar what happened to me.
Gotcha.
I'd lose some positionals to miss next game, specifically like my big guy.
Okay.
Right.
And that would always hamper me. Yeah.
Cool.
I have high prospects for my next game, but then my last game is once against Phil, who is like a 3-time champion. I get to play peak season 3 Nurgle. He's first in the vaults right now, so I'm sure he will roll amazing like he always does on all of his dumb decisions and not get penalized in any way, shape, or form for his bad plays.
I mean, he's a champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Everything he does is a winning move because he is a winner.
yeah,
Yep.
In the wise tradition of Ron Swanson.
Yep.
So I
cool.
look, and he has multiple claws and mighty blows. So I look forward to taking some major damage.
I'm sure.
Right on. No Kingdom Death, right?
Negative.
Any future Kingdom Death prospects currently?
I
No
thought we
scheduled?
had scheduled something, but I don't remember.
All right. Well, with that then, I think we have the opportunity to move over to news and Kickstarters.
Yes, we do. First up on news this week, Small World is getting a reskin, sort of. Blizzard is making a board game with Small World,
Yeah.
Small World of Warcraft.
It's
And
better
if they won't call it that, but that's what they should call it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot of information on it. The first little hint of it came from BlizzCon, where they had a banner up that just said, hey, World of Warcraft, is coming soon. Blizzard teamed up with Asmodee. Small World board game captures the world of Azeroth, including gameplay filled with orcs, elves, and more. Available spring 2020.
It seemed like they don't have any of the... I could only assume these aren't final because there's no powers on anything.
Yeah.
It's just like how many units you get. So it has to be pretty early.
It has a bunch of pictures of a bunch of different races. I'm assuming
Yeah.
that's what the tiles will be. So it has like Murlocs, the humans,
Dwarves,
orcs,
Worgen,
yeah,
furries.
mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that they'll all have various weird, I don't know, powers. I don't know what those powers are going to be. That's probably going to be the most interesting part of that is the power parts.
Yeah.
But
I don't really care for
I don't care for Small World
Yeah.
so anymore.
Yeah,
at
no,
least.
I actively dislike Small World.
Yeah.
Not to mention Blizzard is kind of being real fucking shitty lately too.
Yeah,
So.
their apology / it was an apology.
in the
It's like,
technical sense of the word.
It was very much that old South Park BP.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
sorry.
We're sorry.
We're
sorry. We're so sorry. But like that's all they said is we're sorry. No policy changes. No like, hey, well, yeah, like unless they go and say like, hey, yeah, like profits over human rights is
Yeah.
basically what they've chosen.
Yep. I like that. So both of the links that we put for this in our like show notes here that we go off of, there's a Reddit thread and a BGG thread, and the top comment on both of them reference Blizzard's very poor handling of the Hong Kong protests.
Yeah.
Like the first one on the Reddit one is the Hong Kong expansion included? And to which it said, I doubt Blizzard would care about something like that being free.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then on the BGG one, it was nope, Blizzard hit my perma boycott this year, and then a whole big like discussion of like how
Why?
they're
I
shitty
guess-
handling.
Yeah. Well, and then someone asked like, why? And it's like, oh, I didn't realize that Blizzard
Nobody
did
knew this.
Yeah.
because it's BGG, not a video game.
Exactly. Yeah.
related thing. But yeah, Blizzard's was basically just non-apology,
Mm-hmm.
and they
It's
stepped
more-
they stepped back
it's
on
more-
the ban,
But that was, I mean, they already did that
And-
previous of just from a year to 6 months,
and they gave
instead
all
of-
of his money,
Yes.
prize money back.
because he was technically it happened after he won, so
Yeah.
they shouldn't take the money away. And then instead of firing the casters, they just had a 6-month ban on them.
Yeah.
Which they probably won't rehire them anyways.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And so,
but
yeah,
hey,
they're-
they
they're-
announced Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2.
yes, they did,
Look at this, and a new Hearthstone expansion,
and a new World of Warcraft expansion.
the Shadowlands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was basically a not that we're sorry, that I'm sorry that it made you mad.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
I'm really glad that like I had long since been done with Blizzard. Like I used to love them. I loved the original
Mhm.
Warcrafts 1 and 2, and I liked Diablo 1 and 2, and I
mean,
used to care,
and
and
it's-
I haven't for a long time.
and it's a shame
Yeah.
because that Diablo 4 trailer was real good.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I haven't even
Cinematic,
watched it,
yeah.
but I've heard it's real good.
I mean,
but
you
don't
should.
even
I would
care.
say you should still watch it. It's you're not paying anything for that. You know, it's just it's good. It's good.
What was that Halle Berry movie where she's
Gothica?
like, is that the one where she's inside like a crazy person's mind?
Yep. Oh wait.
Are you thinking of The
Wait.
Cell?
Yeah.
That wasn't her.
That's
That was
not
Jennifer
Halle Berry,
Lopez.
yeah.
Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah. Gothica was a weird, very bad Halle Berry movie where there was like a ghost that
Yeah.
like
Or was there? There was.
I haven't seen it in so long I couldn't remember if that was a key part of that movie or not. I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah.
There's
but
a flesh cape that reminded me of that.
Yes.
great.
Yep. That is definitely from The Cell.
Right on. So that's Small World of Warcraft.
And who cares?
Yeah.
Yep. Next up on news.
Next up on news, Magic the Gathering is finally more Turing complete.
Which so essentially from what I can gather, this wasn't something I was aware of.
Oh yeah.
But apparently something being Turing complete means that you can build a computer with it.
Yes. So like Minecraft or they just had some other, but like any of those things where you can just build stuff.
That has like an on-off ability.
Yes.
You know, it's like Minecraft has the simple redstone switches on-off, which you can make simple binary, which then you can use binary to make a whole fucking computer program.
And people have.
And
Yes.
people have made a lot
I think people
of
have
them.
made Minecraft in Minecraft.
Yeah,
They
they made a
100%
computer
have
to
made-
play Minecraft. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
But now you can do that in Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not that, but yeah.
Well, no, you
Yes.
can't play Minecraft in Magic the
No, you
Gathering.
can't. Not yet.
Not yet. Someday,
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering will be so complex
hmm
that it can actually form a screen.
Yes.
I mean, Magic the Gathering Arena, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But so this is I can't even begin to get into the science of this. There's a whole lot of stuff going into it. Like, you know,
Did you watch the video at all?
I did not watch the
Okay.
video. No.
All right.
There is a video.
Yes.
On this link.
It's from it's because science, and they basically just do like, you know, how like what happens if you try and lift Thor's hammer in space, or like a whole bunch of like weird questions like that. How would xenomorphs actually work, and so, and like actually try and go into the science of how things like that work. And so this one was about making a Turing complete, like making Magic the Gathering be Turing complete, because some scientists did like some research on papers for Magic, and that you can get a specific deck, which the one in here that they were able to make is technically legal, like legacy legal or whatever, but it is something that you can make that will create this sort of, if you get the right combination to start off with, will create this sort of program based on where the cards are and how strong they are.
Yes.
And and watching them move it, what happens is that the other person's entire deck is empty, but they can't draw any cards, so they don't lose that way. But they don't have any actions on their turn, so they basically, the other person becomes non-existent in this, and it's about on your turn doing things that like you have to do basically, that are like destroying certain cards, and you have a shitload of different cards out that are like, if this gets destroyed, then it turns into something else with more strength, and then it adds like +1s or -1s everywhere. But it's more or less the little ribbon line thing moves and has different numbers. And what I liked at the end is that they're like, so we don't really know yet how to interpret. We know that this is now a program. We don't really know how to read it, if that makes sense.
What it does.
But with more research and stuff like that, like theoretically, they would be able to get to like whenever, if they could figure out what they meant by for goblin or orc, whatever it is, and changing it to other things, if they could get that to work with some sort of like actual math, then it could theoretically be a program that you're making. So,
and I guess there used to be a 4-player version of like Turing Complete Magic. This is the first time that it's been in 2-player.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you are interested in real nerdy shit like that,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. I mean, you definitely should watch that channel if you're interested in it. I think he does a good job.
yeah,
They nerded real hard off on this.
Yeah, they nerd off on a lot of stuff in that channel. So
yeah, I'll definitely have to go back and at least watch this video. I hadn't had a chance to recently, but
Yeah.
I've got some free time coming up with my long weekend.
there you
So,
go.
Woo. Next up on news.
Next up on news, a new-ish version of Richard Garfield's classic, King of Tokyo, has been announced. King of Tokyo Dark Edition.
Now I have to ask: is this like an After Dark where they're sexy and wearing
Sexy Godzilla.
sexy Godzilla?
I don't believe.
Don't Google
that. Rule 34 Godzilla.
It'll be so much easier to find than you would ever hope.
Oh yeah, I guarantee there's a lot of
Oh yeah, no, they're
haunting things involving Godzilla on the internet.
So this is basically a new art version with a new mechanic. So it's more than just new art. The new art is basically a real like Sin City kind of like gray scale, with some like the bright colors like yellow and red are highlighted, but no other color besides that. Like red, blue, green, I think are the colors on there. So there is a new mechanic. There's going to be a track on the side of the board. It doesn't really explain how you move up on it, but when you get to 3, 5, or 10, there will be cards that are similar to skill cards. Skill cards are still in the game.
Yeah.
That you buy with the energy. But this track, when you hit 3, like you can get the poison spit ability, or when you get to 10, you can get like a whole shit ton of energy. But they haven't explained here, as far as I've been able to tell.
So this little thing here just says that it's the new mechanism moves you up that side track, which lets you get unique bonus powers. So it's just like I think and
there are
those
stacks
look like
of
decks. So
yeah,
the first person to
decks.
hit different levels gets just whatever
that top one is.
Yep.
But they don't explain how you move up on that track, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, not
in
that
this
I've seen.
description. But they're doing like reveals of all the new like monster designs and stuff. But they're just the same monsters with cool, weird color scales.
I think so. Looking at this one picture here, it looks like you can spend like 3 1-point things. So instead of getting the 1 point, you can do that to get plus up on that track. And then there's another one that's next to it. Like there's
If you get 3 1s, you move up twice. If you get 3 2s, you move up once instead of getting the victory points for.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
Or
I guess
you might maybe, in addition to getting the victory points, to make
maybe
Yeah.
yeah.
it makes trying to roll 3 1s or 3 2s actually worthwhile instead of always going for 3 3s.
Exactly. Yes. Which is always good to.
Yeah.
Seems like they're trying to fix that a little bit, because literally getting.
I mean, King of New York sort of fixed it a little bit, but
went
that fixed
a different way.
Yeah, that fixed a different problem.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. King of Tokyo Dark Edition is expected to release sometime in Q2 2020.
Woo.
So
Which moves us on to Kickstarters.
indeed it does.
First up in Kickstarters this week is Clash of Minds, Holmes versus Moriarty. This one's very well funded. $26,860 of its $15,000 goal. 658 backers. Just over 2 weeks left to go. Its most popular pledge being $55.
Yep. So I went above and beyond. I actually opened the rule book for this one to figure out how to play. So it's definitely a 2-player game, and one player takes on the role of Sherlock Holmes, and one takes on the role of Professor Moriarty, and you are competing to try and either thwart, in the case of Sherlock, or complete, in the case of Moriarty, a cunningly evil plan. So essentially, you're going to have this center little game board laid out in front of you that's divided into 3 different cards that basically represent the weapon that Moriarty's using, the target, and where he's going to kill them.
For his crime of the century.
Yeah, crime of the century. So, Clue-esque. Who, what, where, basically. And you're each going to be playing cards down into those 3 different regions. And you don't know. They're kind of random. Like, Moriarty knows, but Sherlock doesn't know which ones are the weapon, the location, and the target. Like, Moriarty gets to he draws one from each of those decks and then chooses which one of them to put it in. But then you're going to be playing cards and things into each, basically, like, I don't know, row, aisle, whatever you want to call it. And it's the cards you play affect your influence in that area, like for the investigation. And then at the end of each round, you evaluate who has what control of influence there, who has the most influence, and how much they have the most influence. So on Sherlock's side, if he has 1 to 2 influence more in a given area, he gets to put an investigation token on that area. And if he would ever put a second investigation token, then he just reveals it. And the goal for Sherlock is to reveal all 3 of them.
Right.
If he ever does 3 or more influence, then he just auto reveals it. He doesn't have to do the 2-step token process. For Moriarty, every time he wins by 1 or 2, he gets to add 1 to the clock. And anytime he wins by 3 or more, he gets to add 2 to the clock. And the clock starts at 12, and once it goes one time around back to 12, that's the end of the game. So there's other things. There's locations that get flipped. Like you flip a location where the investigation is taking place that will affect what kinds of things you can do at each of those different areas.
Gotcha.
They didn't really go into it very much about how they'll affect it. Just like, oh, these will bring in special effects. And then they also have on those location cards a set amount of time that ticks off that clock. So the clock is constantly ticking, and then Moriarty can speed it up by getting more influence in his who, what, where.
Tool, type, and victim. Tool, type, and target.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, you play until either the clock runs out, in which case Moriarty has succeeded, or until Sherlock has revealed all 3, which means he's uncovered the entire plot and is able to thwart the heist or the.
Should also mention that the $55 is the Royal Edition that comes with a felt-lined wooden box.
Yeah, all these metal tokens.
Yeah,
and
the game by itself is $20.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a lot cheaper.
Yeah. So as I was looking through this, I was like, man, $55 sure is a lot for what this game sounds like. It's because it has all these fancy premium art book and
it's the Society Edition. Yeah,
playmat.
Ton of metal components, wooden cubes, a freaking almost 2 foot by 2 foot tablecloth that's just giant play mat. Yeah.
But it's not a neoprene mouse pad it's more just like a tablecloth.
Yeah. An art a leather covered art book and 100 card sleeves. Yeah. Is what you get in that $59.99 pledge.
The metal clock with the moving hand seems cool.
That is cool, yeah.
But $55 seems like a lot for what this game just is.
I super, super agree with that. But $20 seems much more reasonable for a little quick 2-player tug of war game. Yeah.
That reminds me of what we said about War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
Coming Friday.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of different stuff going on in this one. You can also just add on, if you want the metal set and you don't care about some of the
$15.
Yeah, you can just add it on for $15 if you don't care about the mat or the felt-lined box.
Or the art book.
Or the art book. Yeah, especially the fucking art book. If you are getting everything but the art book, then you might as well just get the deluxe pledge because I think it's actually cheaper, and then you also get the art book.
Yeah.
But yeah, the art is really good. I do like the art style,
Yes,
but
it
I
does
don't
look
need
good.
fucking art books for board games.
Yeah. Only World of Warcraft expansions get art books and mouse pads.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got a bunch of stretch goals and things. They're adding different influence cards and things. They got some more that'll be unlocked.
Community stretch goals where people are voting on locations. The first one is Big Ben, shocker.
Yeah. And then next they're choosing between Piccadilly Circus and Somerset House. So, which I'm sure are things that are relevant to Sherlock Holmes.
Probably. Also the new Call of Duty game, Piccadilly Circus specifically.
Oh, sure. Haven't played the new Call of Duty game.
Neither
Don't know
have
anything about it.
But I've seen the footage, and it's definitely one of those like, do you agree to watch this portion of the game kind of scenarios.
Okay.
You know how they've done those where it gets pretty graphic and
Yeah.
edgy.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's Clash of Minds, Holmes versus Moriarty for our first Kickstarter.
Indeed it is.
Next up on Kickstarter.
Next up on Kickstarter is Chronicles of Drunagor, Age of Darkness. This one is even more well-funded, $297,000 of its $50,000 goal, over 2,200 backers, and still 3 weeks left to pledge this one, with its most popular pledge being $169.
That's a lot.
Yep. So Chronicles of Drunagor is a cooperative strategy game, basically a tactical dungeon crawl. So you're going to be like moving through a dungeon across their player boards and their fancy game trays insert pieces that also double as terrain to give you height advantages and things.
Because it'll be like a bridge going over a moat or something like that.
So there are multiple 3D scenarios that you can either play separately or in a continuous storyline with some unique like setup and rules and goals for each scenario. So they're different. They actually feel different. It's not like, say, Zombicide, where like the goal was almost always exactly the same. Like,
Yeah.
grab some tokens and then get to the exit. Ton of stuff in this one. A bunch of minis for good guys and bad guys and player boards and map boards and all kinds of stuff. You can just see, like, just go and scroll through. I mean, it's your $160 miniature game. Like, there's tons of stuff in it.
Yeah.
Eventually, as you scroll down, you get down to more of where it talks about the things that make this unique.
Yeah, it says it has D20 combat.
Yeah, so you're rolling a D20 for some of the combat.
Yeah.
1
to 5 players. Did we say that? There is a solo mode.
Okay. I didn't
That's,
see that up above, just that it was fully cooperative.
They do call it a true solo experience.
Okay. Scroll through all the stretch goals.
Is it because when you're playing it, you're just like, I feel so alone.
So alone against fighting the darkness.
Yeah. So, what is unique about Age of Darkness? First up, the plastic trays designed from game trays are number one, because they bring the immersive thing. So it actually gives you some, like, you can stack them and there's different height levels, and it gives you advantages if you're higher than what you're attacking. And you can even like push things off of ledges to do damage to them, or push them onto certain spaces where if they're above the space and you push them down onto them, it sounds like they'll get hurt, like a spike thing. If you push them off onto the spikes, they'll get hurt. In each scenario, you kind of build those up individually. They also, instead of like just having a big storybook where you open to the relevant page and read the little blurb, they have these big like card stock doors that like go onto the map that are like a big door, and then they open up and you can read in them what's going on in the setup and the story for that one. And then it's like
How to set up the next room, basically.
Okay.
yeah, as you get to that. So you get to that door, you pull it open, and it tells you what to set up beyond that door.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. They also use, instead of just like having, you get 3 actions, and they can be move, attack, and whatever. They use action cubes. There's 4 different colored action cubes, and then like certain actions are gray, and so they can use any color, and then some are specific colored. So like, all of your attacks are like red, so you can do 1 attack a turn. But like you could maybe, instead of doing an attack, use your red cube on one of those gray spots. So it's going to give you different, what you can do for attacks. And looks like, at least in the little GIF thing here, like this person, L'Oreal, the elf mage, has 2 red cubes, so she can attack twice. And I don't know if that's like the case for all of them, that's their cube setup, or if there's ways to get more cubes of different colors, or if it's class based. One of the key bad guy things is the darkness that like spreads throughout the dungeon, and there are polyominoes that you place that have rules about how you place them, and if it hits heroes, it does damage to heroes to weaken them, and like if it hits monsters, it can power them up and things like that. And then it's got a bunch of like a visual art book where like, oh, you're in this room now, open to this page, and it's a big full color illustration with like different things you can choose to interact with that would then you'd flip to like the relevant page. I don't know. Some of that stuff sounds really cool. It also sounds very convoluted and just like almost too much. But I feel like D&D
are you talking about this game or any of the myriad of other $100 miniature co-op storytelling games?
Yeah,
I mean, it's cool that they all exist and they're all trying to do different things, but I don't want to pay for it.
Right.
And shipping on this is like $30.
Oh, jeez.
So you're paying around $200 for the all-in.
Yeah.
If I am...
The only thing I'd want this for are the minis, and considering Reaper Bones just like a few days ago completed its Kickstarter, and so I spent $120 and I'm going to get like hundreds of minis. I'm not going to spend $160 plus $30 shipping for the stuff in this one.
There's already so many campaign games.
So many campaign games, and so many of them aren't even that great.
But
even it's hard to tell because unless you backed it, you're never going to play it unless you know someone that has it.
And hell, even the one that is coming out now, the one that I backed, the Haunted Grail or
Tainted Grail?
Tainted Grail, there it is. If you back the Kickstarter, not only does it come with the 30 to 40 hour campaign, it comes with 2 more campaigns.
Yeah, because of course.
Yeah. And I'm not even getting that until March or May because I decided to buy one thing that was not part of the core game.
Oh.
And I forgot to switch my shipping, but whatever.
When's it supposed to be here?
Now-ish.
Oh.
It's starting to deliver.
Yeah. Tom Vassell did a review and he really liked it. Okay. So, and I've heard a lot of good things.
Does he ever not like anything?
Yes, there's a lot of stuff he doesn't
Is there any videos?
Yes, there are a lot of videos he has. There are multiple videos where he will like literally show himself throwing the game like just out of a window or burning it or what, like for ones that he really hates.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't smash a copy of Rising Sun.
Well, you didn't own one to smash, I guess.
Reached Tom Vassell levels yet. If somebody sends me a copy of Rising Sun, I will smash it.
Exactly. That's it. It was never your copy.
Yeah, I know.
So.
But yeah, so that's Chronicles of Drunagor, Age of Darkness. Go check it out if you want a bunch of ridiculous minis, or if you just want to like gawk at the art and mini design and not actually pledge it.
It's all pretty good.
Yeah, it all looks good, but
yeah,
I'm not gonna buy it.
It's expensive.
Yup.
Last up on Kickstarter this week is High Frontier for All. Very well funded, $233,000 of its $10,000 goal. Just about 3,000 backers, but little over a week left to pledge this one. Its most popular pledge being $89.
Yeah, so
but you can get it for like $40,
maybe
$39.
So what
does no, 39 is just the upgrade kit.
That's the upgrade to the new version.
Yeah.
$59 for just the new version.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is the 4th edition of High Frontier. But
you've played 2 or 3 times?
You played twice.
Twice?
I've played twice. I have finished none. So
and it looks like this version is trying to make it into a more finishable type of game,
which has been the goal of the last 2 editions.
Okay.
So is it more just like a 3.5 or is it still like trying?
I mean, they've all that's what they've always been. Is like, High Frontier 2 was streamlining, and
so it sounds like you need to go back to High Frontier OG edition to get the true game that was there.
Is there a lot of little cardboard squares?
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't even know. I'm afraid to
it's
even
probably
look
everybody
it
has to bring their own calculator and just,
High Frontier 1 was the Apollo space program.
That sounds right.
And then now they've distilled it down to a board game. Yeah, no, Phil Eklund's an actual rocket scientist. So, a lot of his stuff, like rocket science, makes sense to him. And he's like, oh, yeah, this is all perfectly logical. And then people play the game and they're like, yeah, it might be logical, but it's not a great thing for a game.
Like that other game that we played of his.
You need to abstract that a little bit and maybe make it work slightly more gamified.
So apparently
BIOS is what you're talking
Origin.
about.
Yeah.
So this version is going to add some introductory games to guide through the mechanics step by step, as well as tutorials.
Which High Frontier 3 also had introductory versions.
But like
This is gonna have-
introductory to introductory games.
Yes. This
Yeah.
is going to be break it down even more.
It's gonna the first introduction game is just gonna be a take that card game, and then slowly introduce more mechanics until it gets to High Frontier.
Sure.
It's the jump drive
Yeah.
to the race for the galaxy.
Exactly.
But it seems like all the module things have been around before, right?
Oh, yep, all of it. And they still, even on this Kickstarter, say High Frontier is a game of uncompromising hard science.
I mean,
That's a great sell for a board game
for
that you
some
play
people,
for
it-
fun.
for
Yeah.
some people it is. So
Oh, Phil Eklund's
mean-
a wonderfully weird person.
I mean, you like to play Agricola for the misery that you feel. while
Misery
playing-
Farm,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, I do love me some Misery Farm.
So
And to be fair, I could easily see somebody making a comment about like, oh yeah, 18XX is a game about train building and stock management, and people do that for fun. Like, yeah, it's fun.
Ugh. Just go to Wall Street Bets.
yeah,
Oh,
This map is still just completely undiscernible to me.
oh yeah. Well,
and it's just a cool 900 by 600 millimeters.
it's
So,
big.
Yep.
It's a big board. Yeah. A lot of stuff on this, like as you can see here, if you're watching the stream as I'm scrolling through this, a lot of the art assets aren't even finished yet. Like they're very early in this process. And I don't fully get that. Like High Frontier 4 is not that old. I feel like they should have taken, or High Frontier 3 is not that old. They should have taken the time, got the art assets, like really be ready to launch with everything ready to go. I don't know. That seems like an odd decision. Like they don't even have the player boards. Like the player boards are still just,
we have them. We have
Yeah.
player boards. You will have a board in front of you. That's all you need to know.
And the picture
that-
they have of the solar system is High Frontier 3 solar system. Like it even has the big arrow like this is going to change. Like that's their symbol throughout this, that this will change. Which I'm glad they let me know that the blank player boards will change at some point.
It'd be
They
great
won't
if they
be
just
blank.
shipped you blank cardboard pieces,
All-
and they're
all
like,
them-
"Here's your player board that you wanted so much."
All the modules all have just temporary.
Yeah.
It really looks like only the box, and even the
The
box.
box
has-
isn't even.
Yeah.
Oh man, and they got in hot water with the box. Because they put out a call on BGG. We're like, hey,
Oh, that was
submit,
right.
submit
Yeah.
art, and whoever wins, we'll put it on the box.
Yeah,
And that's your
it's
prize.
a contest.
And then the whole thing was just like pay your artists.
Yeah,
Like,
Everybody was like, dude, pay for fucking art.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna make a lot of money on this fucking Kickstarter. You've already made a lot of money on these things. Pay for fucking art.
pay
I
an
mean-
artist.
And I think it's one of those things where you're like, "Oh, this seems like a cool idea," and like in theory it is,
Yeah.
but it's not.
No. Well, it should never be a thing where like you as the designer should not be soliciting like, hey,
Yeah.
draw us box covers.
Yes.
If you get to a point where like fans just send you cool art and some of it happens to be really awesome and you want to use it, then you
Yeah.
can reach out to them and be like, hey, we would like to license this
Yeah.
art
Or
to use it.
yeah, or I mean, if they were like, "Hey, here's our, we'll do this contest, and if you win, like if we choose yours, then we will pay you like an artist."
prices,
Yeah, art
yes.
prices. That would be great. I think that would be great. But then it's like you get that in like $100 or something like that.
Right.
Like no.
Oh.
They have all the rule books available right now.
Yeah. In so much as they're done, but they're not.
I mean, they're more text documents than anything.
yeah.
Yes.
Unless this is just what the rule book looked like.
I mean,
Well, so they have so Phil Eklund's a big fan of living rules, which is just like I don't play test, I fix things as I find they're broken.
Mhm.
And so yes, there's a living rules document for High Frontier. Like when we were planning to play High Frontier 3, I'm trying to blank on his name.
Paul, Mike. Lance,
Blaze sent us. He's like, here, read through the rules before we play, and just sent us a Google Doc that was like 200 pages. I was like, no. Granted, to be fair, he didn't just say like read through all the rules. He was like, read through like these specific sections in this giant text document, and then if you want, feel free to read more, but it's not going to help you. And it doesn't.
Sounds right.
Oh my God.
There is a breakdown in the like read me first thing that tells the differences that they're doing to the map.
Yeah, so
Like-
they have a roadmap of what they want to do, and there is information in here about like what some of the goals of how they're going to change are.
And unfortunately, the roadmap is blank at the moment. So
The roadmap is an empty field
Yep.
with no roads.
exactly, but it'll be there eventually.
Oh, yeah. Phil Eklund, in concert with his colleagues at NASA and LPL, has updated the map for legibility and science.
For science.
Oh, I'm still gonna want to play it. I guarantee it. Like somebody's gonna get it, and I'm gonna try it. Even though I didn't like 3rd edition at all, it was so damn tedious. But that's the kind of glutton I am.
Yep.
So, yeah. Instead of continuing to read through some of the ridiculous stuff of this, just gonna
High Frontier is very ridiculous. There's some new
Call it.
modules.
Yeah.
But who knows what they are because they're all fucking blank on here, except that they're called colonization, terawatt, and then there's like a module 0 that'll add like a politics assembly board to the game.
Yeah.
Just what this game needs.
May does bring up a good point. High Frontier is responsible for the best photo of Paul that has ever been taken.
Oh,
That
yes.
is very true.
Yes.
Yeah. There is the best emoji
yeah.
on the Slack.
But yeah, that's High Frontier for all. I don't know what he's going to call 5 because that stops using numbers as words stops working.
5 Frontier.
5 Frontier, sure. God
And-
damn it, it's
and
probably going to be true.
5 Frontier.
Yep.
Probably going to be accurate.
Or just throw the number in wherever you want.
Sure.
Like what Fantastic Four movie? They just put the 4 in the middle of the word fantastic.
I mean, at least
The 4.
I mean, at least the 4 looks like an A if you just chopped one of the legs off.
Yeah.
So it kind of worked. But yeah, High Frontier 4, go check it out. It is something you can look at. I'm sure if you're interested in it, then go check it out for sure. Like,
Yeah.
But you would know right now, like before we even talked about it, when we mentioned High Frontier, you were like, yes, I'm interested in this, in which case go check it out. Or you were like, oh, in which case, oh, just yeah.
I don't think this is going to fix the O portion of your opinions.
I don't think so either. So that wraps up news and Kickstarter, though. Listener feedback, starting with
Emails at milehighgameguys.com. We've got a bunch of them. First one.
This is the one that we didn't do
Yeah, we
when Wes was on.
right. Wes came in on for 164 because Jeff was out of town. So this is an older email, but the codes check out.
This one's from Ben, titled Mile High Empire. Hey guys, I've been writing technical reports at work and they are super boring. So to relieve my boredom, I thought I'd come up with Mile High podcast/channel titles for each letter of the alphabet. I think another listener had written in with one letter before, but I don't remember what it was. You guys should get started on these right away to build your media empire that can rival the Dice Tower. Anyway, here's the list. MHAA, Mile High After Actioners for the Wargamers. MHBB, Mile High Blood Bowlers for the love of Nuffle. MHCC, Mile High Closed Captioners like sports commentators for board game streams. MHDD, Mile High Dungeon Delvers, the first official offshoot for RPGs. That exists, of course.
Yep.
MHEE, Mile High 18XXers for choo-choo people. MHFF, Mile High Fantasy Football, a fantasy league where the players are from the rosters in Jeff's Blood Bowl League, Ant's Blood Bowl League. It's not really my league. The league I play in. Companion to MHBB. I think there is like a weird like draft system that you can do where you can get
I think
players
so,
from
too.
different races onto a team.
Okay.
But I it's apparently not very good and / broken. So
That seems right.
yeah. MHGG, Mile High Game Guys, the OG. MHHH, Mile High House Hunters, just like the hit HGTV show, but focus solely on the compatibility of the home for board gaming.
You just look at every wall. How would a Calax look on that?
MHII, Mile High Illuminating Instructors for game how-to-plays and playthroughs. MHJJ, Mile High Jolly Jeff's channel, his uplifting stories of being the happiest board gamer around.
You just get a nice like sweater on, and you're like sitting next to.
I'm basically Mr. Rogers.
Yes, yeah.
Mile High MHKK, Mile High Kangaroo Court.
This is my favorite one.
For fake outrage, hot takes, and dumb debates on board games with arbitrary decisions from an unqualified judge. I feel that's just MHGG.
Yeah. But I will.
We would be taking that key part of MHGG and really distilling it
Yes.
down into its own show.
Yeah.
Which I would 100%. That will be like if we did this, it would be one of the next like 3.
Right.
So it would be one of the first 5
Oh yeah.
shows.
MHLL, Mile High Loving Ludologists for the study of history of board games.
This would also be one of the first 5, and it would have Kaiser as
Yeah.
a new permanent member of
Yeah.
Mile High Empire.
Sorry, Kaiser, you got to divorce your wife. You're ours now.
Yeah.
MHMM, Mile High Media Moguls, a meta review of all the other MH channels.
And this would be the only one where none of us 3 would be on it. It would
Nope.
be somebody else.
It'd be a fan-driven one.
a fan or a hate fan driven one.
I mean, they're all hate fans.
our free folk.
Yeah. Yes.
MHNN, Mile High Nickelback Nerd, Adrian's channel, his tell-all stories of ultimate fandom.
This is the only one I hate.
They're still touring, man. You can
Yeah.
get tickets anytime.
Yeah.
Wow.
MHOO, Mile High Onlooker Overtures for bringing new people into the hobby. That's basically our Wednesday board game nights at
Yes.
this point.
Yeah.
MHPP, Mile High Pew Pew for dudes on a map and Ameritrash games. MHQQ, Mile High Quality Quartermasters for examining board game components and art. MHRR, Mile High Rarity Roadshow, like Antiques Roadshow, but for rare and out-of-print games, which is most of Paul's collection at
Yeah.
this point.
Yeah. And it'd usually be like, man, this really old game has a bunch of cardboard. Little cardboard squares in it.
Yeah. Starship Troopers looking at you. MHSS, Mile High Straight Shooters for Crokinole, Clask, and other dexterity games. I like that one too.
Yes, I do.
Mile High Terrific Terraformers, dedicated to MHGG's Consensus. Great game.
I don't even know how this would be a show, but I'm down for it.
Yeah. MHUU, Mile High Unique Usurpers for hidden roll and backstabby games. Mile High MHVV, Mile High Virtual Voices for video games.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
MHWW, Mile High Worldwide Watchers for the international audience, featuring dedicated Paulo's Corner.
I like that one.
This has been basically just the YouTube comments of all of our YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Is MHWW now.
Yeah.
Well, and that's another one I feel like would have to be one that didn't feature us. It
Yeah.
would just be our international listeners
Yep.
Yeah.
finding a way to make their own show about us.
Yeah.
MHXX, Mile High XX, board game themed softcore porn, featuring episode titles such as Gloothaven,
Yeah.
Skin Tight Struggle, and Agricola, Farmers of the More.
I think that last more needed to be drawn out a bit more.
Yeah.
More.
I didn't. That's why I didn't want that to happen.
I wasn't going to let that not happen.
I'm not gonna sleep tonight. MHYY, Mile High Yearning Year Long for Kickstarter discussion and the long wait for them to deliver. And then MHZZ, Mile High Zingy Zach. Zach's channel, his stories of convincing others to do his bidding in games.
I feel like that would be the longest running one.
I look forward to your future successes. Cheers, Ben.
Well, thank you very much, Ben.
Yeah.
Those are great.
We're stealing all of them.
Yeah, that's definitely now ours.
Yep.
I
is mine now.
actually went out now and filed copyright. I don't even know what I need to file.
So if you use them again,
Trademarks?
Ben, you will
Trademarks?
you're gonna have to
Trade.
pay us, or otherwise we're gonna sue.
Yeah.
We're gonna get real litigious up
Yeah.
in this bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Next up on emails.
Next up on email is winner, winner, pull my finger. This is from Matt from Australia. G'day, MHGG. As true to my word, I sent over some prizes for you in a fantastically crafted box to your friend Kaiser, which is really the greatest prize. That box.
It was
The cricket game.
The cricket game.
that he
Because he couldn't
zombied
ship
into a box.
Because he couldn't ship the actual game in the box, so he just made
The box.
a box out of the game box.
Yes.
And then just put the game in that.
Right.
Hopefully they got to you okay. They did. Please feel free to share out among yourselves and Andrew.
We did not.
No. But we can always get more. Jeff, as winner of the competition. The competition was a bunch of Australian slang, and we were trying to guess if they were slang or hockey terms.
Yeah.
Right.
If I'm recalling correctly.
Yes, that is correct.
It does, yes.
And as people who didn't really know either of the
Yes.
Australian slang
Yeah.
or hockey
No.
terms.
I am the winner. Jeff, as winner of the competition, you get first dibs, then Zach, and then if you feel generous, Adrian. We all shared
I don't
equitably.
But, yeah, I also do not buy that I came in last in that competition.
Well, whoever attempts to eat the Vegemite, please spread it lightly over toast over butter, optionally cheese on top, melted or straight, or avocado goes down well too. Yeah, we'll have to try the Vegemite at some point.
The
but
Vegemite is
Yeah.
still unopened.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Well,
we
it is
only
open.
toast.
Shion has one of them now.
Yes, she does.
Oh, did she take one? Oh,
Yeah.
so it is opened.
Yes.
Ah.
But that revolves some sort of preparation that it normally does not happen.
Yeah.
We barely got the water boiled last time.
Yeah.
The Tim Tam Slam, very delicious.
It was very
Oh, yeah,
good.
Tim
Yeah.
Tam Slam was great.
Please also
Speaking
attempt
of.
a Tim Tam Slam. Take a small bite of the opposite corners, partially dip one corner in milk, coffee, or tea, and suck it up through the Tim Tam.
Well, we did hot chocolate.
Yes, and it was very delicious.
Yeah.
I wonder how it would be like with tea or something like that.
A tea,
Depending on the tea.
would heavily depend on the type of tea.
Yeah.
Coffee, I think, would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I
no,
like
coffee.
because I'm an old cop. I dip like donuts and coffee at work all the time.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like a 40-year-old cop from New York, just dipping a donut in coffee and then eating it.
Fair.
Yeah.
He's got an answer sheet here. Read it if we want. So I will. Sauce me that biscuit. Sauce or saucer pass is a pass through the air over opposition sticks, and biscuit is the puck. So pass me the puck.
Okay. I'm certain we got that wrong.
I'm assuming I got most of these right because I was the winner.
Yeah.
Got a blowout on me double pluggers. Double pluggers are thongs or flip-flops, as you call them. So these are broken flip-flops. I think
Gotcha.
I got that one exactly right.
Really?
Yes. Get me a cold one. Give me a cold beer.
Yeah, that's an
Yeah.
American one too.
Yes. I ain't here to fuck spiders.
Satirical.
Satirical response to someone asking you to complete a simple task that you were there to do anyway. Example, going to a beer hall and someone asking you if you would like a beer.
Well, I ain't here to fuck spiders.
Definitely want to start using
Yeah.
that because it's great.
Check out they lip lettuce, a mustache.
I
I think I got that one. Flat out like a lizard drinking, doing nothing is what that means.
Yeah, I don't feel like we got that one.
I don't think so. Going coast to coast, skating the puck from one blue line to the other on an ice rink, generally though, through and around players. I think I got that one.
Yeah, I think we got that.
Yeah.
Bunch of benders. Amateur hockey players who think they're better than they are.
I don't think we got that one.
No.
I think we thought that was just like that exact description, but instead of amateur hockey players, it was just people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went to the servo to get a pack of ciggies when I saw Baza and thought, Struth, he looks like a dog's breakfast. Servo is a petrol station, gas station. Ciggies are cigarettes.
Mhm.
Baza is the name for Barry, much like Kaza and Gaza are Karen or Gary.
There's so little consistency in that.
Struth is shock. Dog's breakfast is bad. So if you put that sentence together, went to the petrol station to buy cigarettes and saw Barry. To my surprise, he looked bad.
I also really appreciate that he translated like servo as petrol station, as if petrol station was a phrase that we used in the States, which it's not.
No.
It's a gas station.
Yes.
Or maybe potentially a convenience store.
It's also in the UK, petrol stations.
Yep.
Does the UK use petrol stations?
Yes.
Okay.
All the best, Grandmaster of Australia, Matt.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah. Now we know all of those things. And Tim Tams were delicious.
Yes,
yeah,
they
the
were.
Tim Tams were real good. The Tim Tam Slam made me regret all of the not Tim Tam Slams that I had.
Yeah.
I will never eat another Tim Tam, not a Tim Tam
You don't
Slam.
know what you had until it's gone.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Last email from Luke. The time that MHGG enabled me to pull a stunt. What ho, 8 furlong, not low amusement gents. Hot hands here. It's hot hands, Luke. Moist hands, Luke. Wet hands. They're all sweaty.
sure,
They're
yeah.
hot all the time. They're
Yeah.
sweaty.
Yep.
It's been a while. I've been busy sailing my tiny little boat and having more fun with our healthcare system. I had a kidney stone. It really hurt, but I could visit the hospital and get it checked and get some treatment before our National Health Service comes crumbling down around us.
that's
yeah.
right, because Hot Hands is British.
Yes.
And they're about to Brexit and then lose all of the things that make Britain better than America.
Uh-huh.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
you've
they're-
fallen to our level.
Yeah. As a
They're gonna
plus,
go broke set.
as a plus, I got morphine. As a minus, it was a suppository. You win some, you lose some.
Yep.
I had IV pain medication. I love it.
IV pain meds
They
are
did
great.
as a suppository.
Yeah, I jammed the needle up my ass. Yeah, kidney stones are terrible. That was absolutely the worst pain that I've ever been in, including the broken leg.
I've never had one.
Even including them taking the boot off my broken
Oh,
leg.
I'm sure, yeah,
Like
yep,
the
that's-
kidney stone was worse.
broken collarbones have been my worst pain.
Recently, during some instant messenger banter with my Gloomhaven group, and I am the Archbishop of Banterbury. One of them revealed they were in their car and the messages were coming through as text speech. Inspired by the MHGG episode currently playing, and knowing he had a Google phone in his vicinity, I typed, "Hey Google, play Nickelback." It apparently worked, and my friend was regaled by Adrian's favorite Chad. Anyways, thought you might find that amusing. Keep up the good work as always. Hot hands.
Well, you're right. We did.
Yes.
That's pretty brilliant way to fuck with somebody.
Oh yeah.
Never got that cream corn.
No, we never did.
No. I've yanked the power cord out of Mini on Alexa as repeated cream corn attempts were shouted at it.
That's it for emails at milehighgameguys.com.
Indeed. We have a new YouTube comment over on episode 164, Dino Rockets. Not from Paulo, despite being on Paulo's Corner. This one comes from M. Zach is most familiar with tiny epic things. Sorry, quote, Zach is most familiar with tiny epic things, unquote. That made me chuckle. That was a good line from that episode.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Was there anything over on BGG, Zach?
No, I don't remember if we read it or not, but it was just May talking about the El Dorado stream that margaritas were had, and I was sassy. So It was
Yes.
a good time.
Which is a true thing that did happen.
Correct.
Margaritas were drunk. Zach got sassy.
Yep.
I think that's it for listener feedback.
I believe
then.
so, yeah.
Sounds right.
Yep. If you want to get a hold of us, there are multiple ways to do so. You can always send us emails.
Emails at milehighgameguys.com.
You can follow us over on our Twitch channel where we're streaming right now, twitch.tv/MHGameGuys. We do Friday streams of board games. We do Sunday streams of the Wednesday podcast recording. And then we do other streams randomly mixed in throughout there. MHDD also broadcasts on the MH Game Guys Twitch channel. So all of that nice and grouped together there. You can follow us over on Twitter, where I tweet under @MHGameGuys.
I am Zach_MHGG.
I am Jeff_MHGG.
We have Facebook and Instagram, both /MileHighGameGuys. And we have our website, milehighgameguys.com, where you can go to see posts for all of the episodes, along with show notes and links to the news and Kickstarter items that we talk about, and things like that. It also has a link over there to our BGG guild number 2731, where Zach does posts again of all those streams, of the episodes that we're recording, all of those different things that we do. A lot of that gets posted over on the BGG Guild, where you can go leave us comments either before we record, if you want to give us thoughts that we can address in the recording, or if you listen to a recording and you want to go back, jump back to that episode's thread, leave some comments. We'll address it in a future episode. So lots of ways to give feedback on episodes. And then we also have our Slack channel, which there's a link for that on the website in the show notes. And a whole bunch of awesome people talking about board games and politics and beer and
Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl. There's a Blood Bowl channel. I've stayed away from the Blood Bowl channel. There's about to be an Arkham Horror channel. If people don't chill
Arkham Horror
out.
LCG channel.
Yeah, they've taken over the board game channel in a big way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got like a movie and TV discuss channel. We've got a sports channel. We got a lot of channels, so you can find your niche in the Mile High Game Guys Slack. And most importantly, it's free. We don't charge for it. You don't need to support us anywhere other than just joining the Slack and then chatting with us. So feel free to check that out. If you do want to support the show, there's 2 great ways to do that. You can subscribe to us over on our Twitch channel that I mentioned earlier. There's options for subscribing just like, monthly or whatever. But if you have Amazon Prime and you're not using it, Amazon Prime comes with a free Twitch Prime subscription, 1 per month, that you have to renew every month. But it lets you throw, a handful of quarters at us, a roll of them, perhaps, which is pretty great. Half a roll, something like that. I don't remember how many.
$10 is in a roll of quarters.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Lets you
A
throw,
handful of quarters.
So it lets you throw a quarter of a roll of quarters at us. Because
I would say 50%.
$2.50 is what we get from Twitch Prime subscriptions. Yeah. You can also support us over on Patreon, like our most recent patron, Ryan S., who wisely pledged $3.03, saying, "Been a long time coming. In order to cover my bases and not have Jeff and Adrian shit all over my Obscurio trader skills and Zach
we did
my
that earlier.
Arkham non-deluxe edition." I forgot you were giving him shit about his non-deluxe Arkham Horror.
Yeah.
Oh, his rulebook?
Yeah. Well, the rulebook and the no extra dice or no storage or any of that, or no expansion, all that shit.
His base-ass stupid game.
Yeah.
Glad this plan worked out for him.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding us all the things that you did.
In order to cover my bases and not have Jeff and Adrian shit all over my Obscurio Trader skills and Zach my Arkham Horror non-deluxe edition, $1.01 for each of you. Plus 303 seemed like a fitting number for the show. Show's great. Keep up the good work, Ryan. So thank you very much, Ryan. We super appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. That covers all of our different contact information and ways to get a hold of us. As always on our Wednesday episodes, we would like to take a little bit of time to thank our sponsors, Gray Fox Games. Their latest Midgard World game. I don't know if they have a phrase for the Midgard universe yet. But Reavers of Midgard is currently fulfilling, so if you backed that on the Kickstarter or pre-ordered it through their website, you should be expecting your copy real soon if you haven't gotten it already. And I'm eager to get to try this one out. I haven't even seen it yet. You guys got to see it like at Gen Con and stuff.
I did the demo.
Yeah, he tested it out.
So I still haven't even seen it. I'm looking forward to maybe trying this one out because there was a lot that I liked in Champions. It's not super up my direct alley, but there was a lot of good there. And so I want to check out Reavers. But yeah. Jeff, do you have a prepared statement for us?
I do. Gray Fox Games, quality games cleverly crafted. Also, don't regret your past. Learn from it. Regrets only make a person weaker.
There you go. Don't regret. No regrets.
No regrets. Not even one. Not even one letter?
No.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in for this episode. It has been a blast, as always, and we will catch you next time. As always, I have been your host, Adrian.
I am still Zach.
And I'm Wiki Jeff.
Bye.
Bye.
Yar.
Media, where we all
bring something
to the table.
Pull up a chair
at punchboardmedia.com.